Details have emerged of the millions of pounds the British government is investing to aid the insurgents in Syria in their fight to topple the government of Bashar al-Assad. In documents seen by the independent newspaper, the UK has so far sent around £8 million of aid, including 4x4 vehicles, satellite systems, radios, body armour and trucks. The items are being channelled through the so-called Free Syrian Army.
We think it's a very, very retrograde step. It's what we've been predicting for a long time, which is that there's a kind of inch-by-inch process whereby Britain, France, the United States are getting more and more involved in arming, essentially, or providing serious equipment for the Syrian opposition.
Fighting has raged in Syria for over 2 years, with over 100,000 killed and millions displaced. Britain, alongside France, were instrumental in having the EU arms embargo lifted, which would allow supplies to be sent to the militants there. Also, Britain was one of the first countries to be operating in Syria for setting up a camp and training armed insurgents, which led to the killing of innocent civilians in the Arab country. Critics have accused the UK government of playing a rather dangerous and confusing game when it comes to the war on Syria. On one hand, Downing Street is quite prepared to vocalise its support for an opposition group. They seem unwilling or incapable of defining just exactly who these elements are and what ultimately is their real agenda.
Al-Qaeda-linked operatives are becoming more and more influential and taking a more and more leading role in the opposition. It seems that the whole policy of the war on terror is in utter confusion and chaos. And what the West is doing is creating a series of policies across the region, across the Middle East, which I think are in danger of creating a kind of regional conflict, which will be even more murderous and even more terrible than what we're seeing in Syria today.
Any more military aid from Britain will not arrive until after the UK Parliament returns from its summer recess. In July, UK MPs voted overwhelmingly, calling for explicit consent before any weapons are sent to Syria.
They say it's non-lethal material, but in the end of the day, it is military gear. It's designed to make them more effective on the battlefield, and therefore it is going to increase the level of killing and the level of destruction.
The worry is any intervention from the UK will make it even more difficult for peace talks to take place between the warring parties. With the Geneva II conference slated to take place in the autumn already hanging by a thread, experts say the UK's role seems more likely to fan the flames than extinguish them. Amina Taylor, Press TV, London.